Hello and welcome to another free code session. My name is Jason Bach, and this is a case where the documentation actually helped. I forgot that, yes, you have to keep in mind with the defer here on this thing, because it needs to determine whether you keep it on the to-do list or not. So yes, this is actually correct, and this to-do is wrong. So I had it right the first time. The thing that I do need to do, though, is change these agains to being voids, okay, because they really aren't returning anything, and they're only used, like I'm going to have my evaluator here, my own should be kept, and those types of things, and well, actually no, I don't, because I just need to look at the, well, okay, I will have to eventually look at the engine, okay, and determine if I actually need to keep the statement. So I think I'm answering all my own questions. Okay, so let's come into here. We're going to take these, make them voids. Okay, and then we're going to have here a Boolean should, and let me look at this. Okay, so we're going to have this, and that's just, you can only read it, okay, and then there. Okay, now I want to actually move these down below, okay, because we're going to have these being public bool, should statement be set, get, but we're going to have a private setter, okay? And I just realized I kind of screwed myself, but that's okay. So now I got a bunch of errors around here. And again, should return a void. This should be this, that, that. Okay, defer is pretty much the same. Void should, we don't need to return it because nobody cares. Okay, so that gets rid of those problems. Okay, so now when we execute, and I probably could have done refactoring here. That would have probably worked, but that's okay. That's all right. Okay, so now it's the responsibility of the caller of the code to look at the execution actions and say, hey, should I do this? So now if I come to my 99 bottles, I'm going to have a problem, okay? Which is, I want to call this, okay? But what I want to say is, if not actions should statement be deferred. There, okay? That's really the right thing to do. If you shouldn't defer the statement, then you do what you need to do. Okay, same thing here. So I'm going to do that. Should statement be deferred. We'll keep that around. No, you won't, because we're going to have to pull this out. Okay. Yes, yes, yes. Oh, I need that semicolon. Need that sweet, sweet semicolon. Oh, I could use the clipboard. Right. Yeah, I'm being stupid. Action should statement be deferred. And that's it. Okay, so that closes that off. If I go look at the Fibonacci sequence here, need to do some more stuff. And then we say, should statement be deferred. You know, I'm going to do that. We're going to pull that, 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 and then that. Oh, one too many. Okay. Do that. Put the if there. God, I hope I'm doing this all right. That. Those you just do this, that. That, and we're good. Okay. Let's see if the rot 13 has any. Oh, I never did that one. Okay, that's fine. Simple program, never did that one either. Okay, do we actually still build? Or are there tests? Let's run all the tests. Let's just, I don't know if I actually have tests around the, I do have tests around the execution engine, so there might be errors here now. Which would be fine, because that actually shows that something broke. And I don't. Fine. Okay, I guess I don't have a test here for... yeah, I don't have a test for defer and again. Need a test for read. Need a test for defer. And we need a test for again. Okay, well that at least explains that. Now I think I'm actually able to come to the point where if I come back to my built-in functions, let's make sure I got them defined right. Nope, they don't return anything anymore. They return void. Void. Okay. What I need to do, though, is in the evaluator, is to do something very similar to the execution engine. Okay, which is I need these two things around. So for the evaluator, I could actually, because these are just purely private state. They don't have any need to be exposed in any way, shape, or form. Okay, so all we need to do here is we say evaluate line statements. Then we get to a line statement. Okay? Now here are all the line statements. So when we come to the thing here, we'll get to that in a moment. So if actions dot oh what the duh, Jason. If it should not be deferred, then do this. Okay, so actually I was being stupid. I already have the engine in place, so I don't at least need to keep that state around. Okay, so that's good. Okay, and then I need to say here a line, you can just update on the line itself its own count, right? That's, where is that going? Oh, that's on the line itself. Okay. Huh. Oh. Wow, I just realized something. I'm actually in a much better spot than I thought I was. This is purely just here to say if I ever call a defer, and it should be deferred, I simply don't execute the next statement. Because I'm using the actual engine for my evaluation of all these things in the action, this will actually happen. I don't have to think about this because the line itself, wow, I think I just made my life hugely simpler. We're going to find out in a second. I don't want to jump the gun here. Okay. So what I want to do here is I have simple programs here. I actually want to take the 99 bottles program. Okay. And we don't build it, but we copy always. Good. Okay. So let's take this. And we're going to put it in here. Except we're going to be smarter. We're going to have to say this exists. Print N1. So this needs to be stringed. We're going to put a little bit better space here so we can actually read it. String. There. Okay. And let's put a little bit more space in here so I can actually read it. Okay. Now we're going to defer exists of 4 if or n1 equals n2. Then we're going to print. They will now pass it around. Okay. Now we're going to say here exists for. Put a little space here so we can read it. Now I need to put a string around the number of lines. And there we go. Okay. Yeah, stop with that. So now I can say load 99 bottles, and let's see how badly this crashes. Nope, stop. You need to be actually on the right. Load file 90. Yeah, you're not going to be smart enough to know what that is. 99 bottles. WS. And boom! Pow! Unexpected function defer. Well, it did parse it, right? If I come back up here, call expression. We don't put the value of the call expression there, which is kind of sad. Yeah, that's making this a little harder to read. But it does not evaluate call expression. Okay, that's fine. That's why we have error statements. The evaluator. Could have done this better. Yes, we don't actually know what those are. Let's put in that we know what they are. Again, we don't return. Yeah, this is the funky of this, is that we really don't need to do this, but we have to, because we're calling something that doesn't actually return anything. Actions, again, passing in as a Boolean the evaluated expression. Right. The same thing goes for defer, except we do defer. We need to do else here, we need to do else here, and we need to do else here. Okay. So now if we say defer, and we defer the whole expression. Okay, let's try that now. Load file. Let's come back here so I can actually see the name. Oh, reset. I'm dummy. Need the meta command, load file. I'm so happy. I am so ecstatic. Look at that. Would you look at that? Oh. Oh my goodness. That is, oh. This seems so simple. I mean, it seems so simple. And yet to get to this point is just, I'm ecstatic. I'm truly ecstatic. Let's actually try to get the Fibonacci sequence in. Okay, so we'll do this, and then we're going to call it Fibonacci sequence. Okay, and I'm going to have to shut this down because it didn't copy the file over. That's okay. And we should have the same. Yep. Okay, so let's come back into here, copy that, come back over here, paste all that in, and now we're going to have to do our exists of 3. And again, we're going to add some space here so we can actually see what we're doing. And that's okay because the number is going to compare there. 2, we do that. Okay, that should be fine. Oh, we need to also say again, let's move these in a little bit because then we can see them actually as better function calls. Now let's do that to the Fibonacci. No, not that. That. Let's put these right next because it is like a function. Whoops. There we go. Okay. And now let's say defer if exists 3. Put some space around this. Around that. Now we're going to say, actually I think the only thing I need to keep copying here is because I need to say again if it exists. Again if it, whoops, what am I, there, okay. We need to defer if exists 5. And then we're going to say string of the number plus string of the number. I'm kind of curious here. Hold on just one second. I come up to the Fibonacci sequence. What was it doing with line 3? Oh yeah, I was, that's why there's a space there. Okay. Yeah, we got to actually put the space in here. Can't assume that. Okay. That was a bad assumption on my part. So it prints 5. We're going to print 1. Do that. That's okay. Exists of a 4. And then we just do the 3, 7, 7. That's okay. We're going to say that's a Boolean, so that's fine. That's all okay. We're going to say either exists of 3 or exists of 6. All right. Get rid of this stupid temp file crap. Okay. And then let's do that. Let's run this. I say load file Fibonacci sequence run. Well, we have some errors. Unexpected line statement token. Okay. I guess I don't handle negative numbers there that well. I have some time, so we can handle some. I think the problem is I'm not handling if you have a negative number as your line number here. So I don't want to try to evaluate it as a number because the unary, or the minus, the token there is actually saying we have a unary operator that's actually doing the negation of the number there. So having a negative number there is, or a negative sign there is okay. What we're going to first do here is, because I'm happy. I mean, this is a really good spot to be in. Okay. Finally got 99 bottles of beer to run. And this is my own version of whenever. This is dub sharp. This is truly dub sharp because you have to do conversions and you have to call exists. You got to be more explicit in your code than just the kind of crap that I was seeing before, which I actually enjoy. In fact, and I thought about maybe, like in these cases, this, like saying update line, and then you actually have to give the line, and you have to do the negation on it and stuff like that. But I'm like, well, let's keep this little quirky thing in there because I'm okay with that. Okay, so I think where the problem happens is, let's close this all out, is when I'm coming in to evaluate a line expression here is if it's an identifier token, that's a function that we call it that way. Else if it's a number token, but that's not quite true. It could be a number token, but it could also be, so if it equals this, or this dot peak of 0 kind is equal to a syntax kind minus token, and this dot peak of 1 kind is equal to a syntax kind number token, because you could have that case. Okay, then you're going to parse it, and so now let's see this actually works. Load file. It was the Fibonacci sequence that was giving us problems. Bob's your uncle. Oh, I'm so happy. Oh, yes. 538, 8513. Oh my God. Oh my God. This is the perfect way to end a Sunday. Seriously. I'm giddy right now. You know, and I'm sure there are still mistakes galore in my code. I am sure that I have other problems, other parsing bugs, everything else. But this is such a big thing because I have everything I need right now. And the only thing I have left now is to start actually emitting IL, which is, like I said, Immo's now hit his part 1 in his series. And so I think I can just kind of like blast through the rest of his videos and then watch the emit one. And this is now we're going to have to come to another decision, which is this playground's been nice, okay? But the dub sharp thing in here, when it says a program, what it really is going to need to do is do more things like take a file name. We're not going to do multiple files here. We're just going to take one file. And you pass in the file. And I can use the dragon fruity stuff here because that's so much fun. Pass that in. Okay. And then parse it, and if it doesn't work, report the errors. If it does, just do the whole compilation thing, except I'm not going to, this is where the execution engine and how the resultant executable is. Do I move the execution engine, line exception, those concepts outside of the runtime, like and have like a compiler assembly, and then just have something that's like a runtime, because then I can reuse the runtime, which is the execution engine, within an evaluator and an interpreter, and also in the compilation. So I think that's the next step to do, which is to break this up and have something like dub sharp compilation, or just call it the compiler, and then everything within the compiler would move in there. That would have, I believe, a reference to the runtime, because it would actually need to emit a assembly that knows about the runtime, but the runtime would become much thinner. It would only have information about the execution engine. Because I thought about this, I'm like, should I compile the actual execution engine logic into the resultant exe? And I'm like, why? That's, I already have that in an assembly, I can have the resultant executable just refer to that assembly and get all the functionality that I know, and then I still have the flexibility of the flexibility of being able to have an interpreter if I would like. Okay, so I think I'm in a very good state. I'm going to write down that. In fact, before I stop, I'm going to say somewhere within here, to do. I need to take all the compilation stuff and move it into a dub sharp compiler assembly. Yeah, project. Dub sharp runtime will only contain things related to iExecution engine actions. This way I can build an exe that uses the engine and also have my evaluator use the runtime as well. This gives me a lot of flexibility. Okay, and so what I think also is going to happen then is that this becomes a compiler. The playground actually becomes the interpreter. Okay, so this basically means dub sharp playground gets renamed to dub sharp interpreter, because that's what it's really going to be. Because we have the REPL there, we have the program there, it just runs the REPL. I think that's right. So I might do, I'm actually going to take a break now because it's a Sunday, and I got lots of time. I think what I'm going to do is, I'm not sure if I'm going to record this or not. It might be fun because for some definition of the word fun to show how to do this reorganization, because it's not the greatest. I'm going to have to like create new assemblies, move code around, rename stuff, and then make sure it all still works. But I think at that point then what I'm going to do is go through all the to-dos and start actually getting back to, I now have dub sharp in place. Let's start doing actually official branches. Like a branch would be add IL generation. And then I would actually do that in dub sharp, okay, using the compiler and subsequently the runtime, and see how that works. So yeah, but this is a great spot to stop because I am very happy now with, I just have to do this again. I have to do this again. I have to. And there's also some things with the REPL that he does with like meta commands. Yes, let's do show program, show tree. Is it clear that I put in? No, I don't. CLS. Oh, let's do reset, because what I want to do is take a screenshot. Load file, run. And I'm going to post that into Twitter because, man, this was such a big deal to me. So that is all the time I have for right now. I'm a very happy guy. Thank you all for watching. Leave comments and questions below. See you in the next episode.